Hello and welcome back to my Pokemon Horizons review series. Today we are reviewing episode 46. Let's get started and I hope you enjoy. So we are back at the start of a brand new chapter in Horizons and there was a lot going on in this episode. We see Liko wake up in her home in Paldea and we get a flashback of her reuniting with her mum and dad. And I feel like this was a little bit rushed for Horizons, which takes its time with everything usually. You would have thought Liko returning home and actually interacting with her mum for the first time on screen and showing her all the Pokemon she had would have been given a little bit more focus, but they kind of just skipped over it. But it was still nice to see Alex and Luca back in this episode, but the real focus is of course the Orange Academy. Liko, Roy and Dot are all enrolling in this school on the Terastal course. The school looked great. We saw so many different Paldea characters, starting with Clavel and Geeta, who explained all about the course to the trio, and it just felt good to have such a close connection to the games again. They learn all about the Paldea phenomenon known as terastalization, and are given these 3 terastal orbs so that they can use them, but they aren't permitted to use them against other students just yet. They can only use them on their course tasks. We also bump into a bunch of other characters, including Nemona, who just hilariously wants to battle Roy, but every single time the bell rings or someone interrupts. And I love the gag and I kind of hope it continues until we get their actual battle. But we also meet the Paldea Elite Four, Hassel, Rika, and then later on even Poppy and Larry show up. It was cool, but it was pretty jarring just to see all these big shots hanging around for no apparent reason. I guess I'm just used to the anime introducing these sort of characters one by one rather than all at once, so it could be a bit overwhelming at times. The episode really got going for me when they head outside for their first real lesson, and we meet Dendra, who is the battle studies teacher and is pretty hands-on with her training approach. It was cool to see them all put through some physical drills, including Dot, who just had enough. And surprise surprise, we see Liko's old friend Anne, who has apparently enrolled in this school as well. And you know what that means? It's battle time. Liko will be battling Anne, and it's so rare to see an official one-on-one battle in this series so far, but I'm all for it and I'm glad we're going to be getting way more of these now. As we see Liko's newly evolved Florigato go up against Anne's also newly evolved Dewott. The battle itself was really good. We saw some nice moves and them both thinking on their feet. I liked how Liko is starting to use Florigato's Vine to get the upper hand, with it grabbing Dewott's Skull Chop at the end and finishing it off with Magical Leaf. Nothing crazy, but a real solid battle to kick off this arc. Oh yeah, and the whole Elite Four were watching this battle just because. We also learnt that the trio will be going around Paldea and battling the gyms. We are finally getting the return of the gym challenge, the first time since X and Y. Well, not really, because it turns out that each of them are battling different gym leaders, so it's not really the traditional gym challenge, but I actually like this. There's no way that they could rush one person battling all 8, so it's nice to see them mix it up with different assignments. Liko will be heading to battle Katie, Roy will be heading for a rematch with Brassius, which is super hype, and even more hype, Dot will be getting that promised battle with Iono. And this just made me so much more excited for this arc. I love that they're going in this direction. Next we see Sango and Onyx have enrolled in the school in disguise with different names, with Agate acting as a teacher to make sure that they get in. So they are scheming up some shenanigans, and Liko and Roy again, unlike Ash, have already spotted them and recognised them through their poor disguises. But the trio set off to begin the gym leader challenge, and it looks like we are just getting right into it next episode. Meanwhile, we do actually catch up with the other Rise and Volt tacklers, where we see Murdoch looks to be in the same uniform that Katie wears, so we could possibly see him in the next gym episode. And then Freed leaves the ship in Aula's hands while he sets off to start his own little training journey. And he has Lucius's belt, so I have no idea what this means. I have no idea what this mad lad is going to be doing. Is he going to be using Lucius's Pokemon to help him train and get stronger? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. So as you can tell, this episode had a lot going on. It got me really excited for what's to come, and I loved meeting all the new Paldea characters and seeing the interactions. It wasn't perfect, I do have complaints. I think the pacing was all over the place. We are bumping into characters all over, and it was weird how the Elite Four were just there watching Liko battle. So I do worry that a lot of the Scarlet and Violet content might be crammed into this arc. But still, it was a really solid episode. The best parts were the lesson with Dendra and the battle with Liko and Anne, with Liko showing a lot more confidence in her battling. And that's what they're here to do, improve as battlers, and that's what I want to see the most from this arc. So overall, this episode was very solid, and despite feeling slightly rushed, it had so many great moments and interactions, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Let me know what you thought of this episode. What is your rating out of 10? Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.